Come for me. Find no more. Yo, there we go. 2 on the ground.
That's what I need.
Oh, there's more.
Why'd you do him like that? Trying to run that wood.
Hey everyone, Be Righteous here from Identity with another Division 2 video. In today's video, I have a build that you might not be accustomed to, but guess what? It challenges the meta, so you don't want to miss this. It's very effective against those berserk clutch builds that so many are having such a hard time with, so stay tuned. And as you know, I create builds from DPS all the way to skill that allow for success in both PvP and PvE. So if you haven't already, then please drop a like and hit that subscribe button. All the support is greatly appreciated. Have Mercy. An explosive DPS build that cuts through enemies' armor so fast that it makes you feel sorry for them. I can really appreciate this playstyle because even with all the builds out there that have maxed out hazard protection, crazy damage from skills or otherwise, the ability to stack explosive damage on the Merciless combined with its new and improved functionality makes for such a deadly combo. So I know you're wondering, can this build compete with the meta, the infamous Berserk Clutch combo? And the answer is yes, but that meta build is very strong, so you have to be careful. You see, this build, Have Mercy, requires a little bit more focus than your typical run and gun AR or SMG build. With this, you have to know when the right moment is to attack, because those Berserk Clutch builds rely on landing their shots in order to regain health, so face tanking is out of the question. That's why this build stands as a formidable opponent, because it doesn't rely on the face tank, but instead precision and careful execution. So if you play this right, more times than not, you will come out victorious. But let me just say, this is not a how-to counter Berserk builds tutorial, but in discussing PvP, I can't just go on talking without addressing one of the most dangerous builds in the game right now. However, if you go against any other build with this, it is overwhelmingly strong. You don't have to worry about anyone regaining their health, so face tanking is an option. No meticulous planning. This build just gives you the freedom to fight the way you want to and still be successful while doing it. I must admit that I have a lot of fun playing this build, and I think you will too. It's just a completely different playstyle than the norm. So let me show you how I put this together. Alright, so let me show you what I got here. For the weapons, I use the Merciless, and I don't really use my secondary or sidearm. I just use it for the holster talents, because I think a lot of people sleep on this weapon. Most of you probably don't even know that it got a big rework for TU6, and it performs way better than it used to. It shoots super fast now. It has 400 RPM. That shoots faster than the Urban MDR. That's crazy. And everybody's using this for a secondary talent, but I figured, why not use it for what it is? Especially with Spark being that explosions give you 15% extra damage. Every other trigger pull with the Merciless is an explosion. How can you pass that up? And it's a rifle. So like I said earlier about, being careful and careful execution when fighting those Berserk Clutch builds, this is a rifle. So all they want to do is run up to you and burst you down. If you can hit them from a distance, you automatically have to leg up. This is a rifle, so you have range, and it does insane burst damage from a distance. You just can't let them get into their zone. You can't let them run up to you and just burst you down. You have to disrupt them in any way you can, and I think this is one of the best ways to do that. For this build, it's the Negotiator's Dilemma, and you can't use any other build but Demolitionist. That's what it states. And this gear set has something on it called blowback, where it launches a grenade at the target that depleted your armor, and it can occur once every 3 seconds. So if you're fighting somebody and somebody on the right side is shooting you, and that person on the right side depletes your armor, the grenade is going to launch there. So this talent is really good. And before I had a 4-piece and I theory crafted this because the 4-piece gives you something called press home the advantage. Explosions caused by the player stacks the bombardier buff. Each stack of the buff grants party raid members 10% explosive damage and the player with 10% bonus armor for 10 seconds, and the max stack is 4. You might not understand this at face value, but basically they give you 40% bonus armor and 40% explosive damage. When you're firing the Merciless with this, you have a 100% uptime on the bonus armor. So I thought about this before and I was like, man, this is crazy, because you know how the Berserk builds, they have health on crits. They get their health back on crits. And this allows for armor on explosions. And with how fast this fires, you can keep getting your armor back while they're shooting you and getting their health back. And I figured this would be really good against them. But it's weird though, because I went into I recalibrated a lot of my stuff and I was like, I gotta make this work. I got some Negotiator's Dilemma gloves right here. And I added the 4-piece. I went into the Occupied DZ, but the weird thing is that it does not work in Occupied DZ. I was shooting enemies and I didn't see any bonus armor at all. It's just weird, I don't know. But then I went into Conflict and it works in Conflict. So I just decided, I'm gonna go back to my 3-piece because I didn't want anything inconsistent working someplace and not working another place. So I just decided to go with this 3-piece, and it's fine. If you want, you can have somebody else in your group running the 4-piece, and when he causes explosions, it gives you that explosive damage buff, and you could go that way also. But these Negotiator's Dilemma pieces, the mask, I think they only roll with blues and yellows. I rolled so many of those and I never was able to get a red. So for all 3 pieces, I had to roll the red slot. The reason I did that is so that I can have enough reds to proc Spark. And that's the bread and butter of this build. That's where you get a lot of your damage from, because you're gonna have a 100% uptime with Spark. You're always gonna have that 15% extra damage plus the explosive damage, because if you didn't know, the Merciless stacks with whatever explosive damage you have on your build. So however much you add up goes into that. And that's what you're spitting out with that Merciless. That on top of the 15% weapon damage you get from Spark. So the damage potential with this is significant. That's why people with low armor go down so fast. And the Merciless shoots really fast, so sometimes you'll embed a primer in their body and it won't detonate. So you got one primer in there and then you'll embed another one and it won't detonate because you missed. But then you embed another one and then they just completely just go down and they don't even know what hit them. For the chest piece, I have an Alp Summit chest piece with weapon damage and armor. Nothing really special here. I would prefer to have a China Light chest piece with the right rolls, because China Light gives you an extra 10% explosive damage, but this is what I have right now. And holster, crit chance, and skill power. You already know the backpack has Spark and it has armor and vital. Best in slot are the gloves, Alp Summit climbing gloves with 11% rifle damage and destructive for the extra explosive damage. And for the knee pads, I have Negotiator's Dilemma with 8.5% crit hit chance. My stats aren't bad on here. I got 360k armor and I was able to get my skill power pretty high, and that was because I wanted to activate the mods on my Seeker Mine. Now this is an explosive build, so you want to use it to its advantage, and this is also going to help you offset people who try to run up on you. As you saw in the gameplay, I was disrupting a lot of people, and by the time they catch their foot in, they're already down. Damage is 681,000 in PvE and 150k in PvP, so it's pretty strong. And I just used the Chem Launcher, and once again I don't have enough skill power to activate any mods, so I just got the standard one. But pretty much you want to be the aggressor in this build. You want to just put the enemy down as fast as possible, and you can definitely do that. So the Chem Launcher is not as important as you think. I might actually change it to the Defender Drone. We'll see how it goes. But once again, I have a quick and easy build for you. This is not hard to make. The gear sets are not really hard to make. They're self-explanatory, and you can add whatever flavor you want to it. I think that the backpack is the most important part for this build because of Spark and the fact that explosions are what give you the 15% damage, and every shot with the Merciless is an explosion. I mean, it's a no-brainer to use this. So I'm definitely gonna try and make this build a lot better than what it is, maybe by getting a China Light chest piece. I don't think there's any much more I can do to make it better except that, but that's pretty much the build. That's it, y'all. I really think you should try this out. It's you're pretty much unstoppable in PvE, and in PvP is very strong. So I definitely think you should try this out, and let me know in the comments what you think about it. If you feel like this video was informative and helped you in any way, please drop a like and hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next video. Be right out.